Good morning everyone, I am Grimsy Finds, and in this video I'm going to go over a new change on eBay that can save you money. But if you're not careful, it can actually lose you money. Recently eBay pushed a new change. I don't know if they really made a clear announcement about it, but they released cubic rates on eBay. So for both priority mail and ground advantage mail, there's something we call cubic rate. What cubic rate is based on the dimensions. For example, 864, and if it weighs under a certain amount, let's say 2 pounds, it can go for a cheaper rate. Now the good thing about this is it'll be lower shipping for the buyer. Buyer is more prone to buy an item, and of course, who doesn't want a cheaper rate? If the dimensions you put on the listing is correct, your rate is going to be cheaper as well. Previously, you had to use a website called Pirate Ship or similar sites to get the cubic rate, but now eBay finally pushed this change and the cubic rate is now available on the platform. However, there is a problem to this. Of course, the problem to this is that because dimensions didn't really matter past 12 before, which is 1728 I believe. Once you pass that, of course the dimensions go dimensional, and then you would have to ship UPS for it to be cheaper. So before, it didn't really matter if you just put anything on there as long as it wasn't past 12. However, if you didn't care about putting that before, you need to care now, because I've actually had this happen to me, and I just wanted to make this video to enlighten you guys that if, let's say on a listing that's going to be 12.10.6, you put 111 or 444. Now the buyer's gonna pay for about $5 and something cents for the shipping rate, but depending on the weight, it may not go cubic, and it's even if it goes cubic, it's still going to be more expensive because your dimension is 12.10.6. So you have to be very careful with your listings. If you have old listings that you didn't care about and you put random dimensions, I would take a look at them and make a massive change. Just dedicate a couple hours a day, maybe 30 minutes a day, just to changing the old listings, and sooner or later you will catch up. I've been doing that on the side, so when I go send offers, I've been editing them as I go. Once I edit them, then I send out the offers. I also need to go from oldest to newest and update that, because I mean, I was very lazy before and I just did like 111 or 888 and didn't really care before, but now with cubic rate you have to care. It is a good change because again, it's more attractive for the buyer because the shipping rate is lower, and also, I mean, you want to get the items out, so that's why it's helpful to buyers, but you have to be careful. I also wanted to talk about another change. I don't know if this has happened in the past. When I spoke to USPS on the phone, they said it's been in place for a long time and it's part of the insurance. I did want to speak on that as well because it has affected me. So recently I had two damaged items. One was a snow globe for Beauty and the Beast, and the other one was an Xbox 360. So the first one, they sent me a letter. Instead of sending me the reimbursement for the item, because they did break the item, they wanted either me or the buyer to turn in the package to USPS with the letter. And of course, this is sent about a week after, so this is already too late. The buyer was refunded. The buyer can do whatever they want with the item once it's refunded. So you can't really wait on the buyer to do anything based on that. So this is a flaw in the post office insurance claim, and I mean, it's don't go raging. If this has happened to you, don't go raging at your local post office. It's out of their control, really. It's more on the insurance side of the company, and it's just an issue that's I think gonna keep growing and keep getting sellers mad. And ultimately, it's almost like the USPS no longer wants to pay for the insurance coverage, and they do guarantee it with Ground Advantage, and Ground Advantage has increased their business, but because of this increase, I think they have noticed that there's a lot of claims, and the person I did talk to, USPS, says there's no proof that a package got damaged unless they inspect it. I explained that, you know, with the photos of the item that was damaged should be suffice. They said, I mean, this is just an extra measure they're taking. So unfortunately, with the snow globe, the buyer tossed it once I refunded it. They cannot take it to the post office, neither will they cooperate. That's the other thing, that the buyer can possibly not cooperate. I mean, I'm hoping that it's just on a case-by-case basis and they're just not going 100% you have to do this every single time, because it's just a burden and it's very time consuming. And I think they're doing this just because most people will tend to just eat it and not do a claim. Honestly, I think that's why they're doing this, because I mean, when you're offered a return, about half the people will do it and half the people won't, and I think that's why they're doing this. Honestly, that's, if you want to see a copy of the letter, you can see it here. This is just more or less just saying, you know, your claim could be denied if you don't turn in the package within, I think, 20 days or so. Even if you do turn it in, as speaking to the representative at the post office, they can still deny your claim. So what happens is you take the item in, if you do have it or your buyer has it, they turn it in, they give it like, I think 10 days for the case to review, and if it's denied, they return the item to you even though it's broken, which is silly. Or if it's approved, they keep the item. That's how it works. It just really, I think it's really bad practice. I do understand that some people do lie about a package getting damaged or whoever. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's happened in the past. And because of that, I think that's why they put this in place. But I really think it's more of the reason of, you know, a lot of people will not do that because the inconvenience of it. But what they fail to realize is that you're at the discretion of the buyer. If the buyer doesn't want to cooperate, you're basically screwed. Sorry for my language, but you're basically screwed. And that's why I explained to the representative. She did say that if the claim is denied, you can put an appeal and explain, you know, the buyer was uncooperative, the buyer tossed the item. She did disclose that, but once again, they could still deny your appeal. It's silly, and I wish they improve on this, because honestly, it's very frustrating. I mean, normally I package items very well. Even the Snow Globe and the Xbox 360 were packaged very well. Unfortunately, if it's tossed around so much, there's only so much packaging can do. All I can really say is, for advice, is make sure you package your items very well. Make sure if there is an item damaged, just tell the buyer to return the item to you. I feel this is the best recourse, because once the item is returned to you, you yourself can turn it into the post office. Because I mean, honestly, I don't want a broken item, but if it's gonna help me get part of my money back because they broke it, I will do that. Unfortunately, that's just how it has to be. Honestly, this is not very appealing to sellers. Let me know in the comments below if you knew about any of these changes. Number one, the Grand Advantage cubic and the priority cubic rate coming to eBay, and if it's been helpful to you guys. And also the USPS insurance policy that they're enforcing now with turning in the packages if it's damaged or, you know, broken or whatever. So hopefully this video was helpful to you guys. Hopefully it brought light if you have faced this issue and you were wondering why this change happened. If this hasn't happened to you, hopefully now you're aware and can take precautions to these measures. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe for more videos, and follow my Instagram @GrimseyRaider. Thanks for watching, and we'll see what I find next. Thanks, guys.